Hello everyone, this is Julie with Craft with Julie, and today I'm going to share with you my August Stamp of the Month kit. This month's stamp is called Goodbye Isn't Forever. So it's this stamp right here. Unfortunately, I've had to create some of these types of stamp sets lately. Thinking of you, goodbye isn't forever, love is, hello, praying for you in your loss, and then this sentiment right here says, hope you can find some comfort in the stories, the laughs, and all the joyful memories that will be with you forever. You know, when you go through those times where you tend to send a lot of these types of cards out, these sympathy cards, unfortunately that has happened to me recently. So this set is gorgeous. It has these fun scenery, this like park by a river, a tree, some clouds, and then also those wonderful sayings that you could send to someone when they're having a tough time. So this is the card kit that I've designed and put together. This set is only available during August. It is $19.95, or you can get it for only $5 with a $50 order. Or if you are a Close to My Heart VIP customer, you can get it for free with a $50 order. So I will put more information on the Close to My Heart VIP program in the description of the video. It's a great customer rewards program, and you can get the Stamp of the Month for free. And then I sent you this card kit in the mail, and you can create these 3 cards. And so I'm going to walk you through creating these cards. So if you already have your card kit, go ahead and grab that. And we will start with card number 1. So what you will need, so in this card kit, let me first say, I put the list of products that I've used. So if there's like a cardstock in here, you're like, what color is that? You can just look right on here and it tells you that that is sage. And then on the back, I will list the supplies that you'll need. So you'll need some scissors, some 3D foam, your paper trimmer, and also the inks. And we're going to be using Mocha and charcoal today. And then the rest of it, oh, you'll need card bases, but the rest of it should be in your envelope. So let's go ahead and get started. I package them in a little cellophane bag so they don't get wet on their way to you. You know, sometimes the mail's delivered in the rain and we don't want our pieces to get wet. So I put them in order. So here's your card 1. Let me move these out of the way a little bit. Card 1, card 2, and card 3. Okay, so let's start with card 1, and it's this one right here. Goodbye isn't forever, love is. And on this one, I just love this scene. I thought about coloring it, but I wasn't really sure like what medium to use, and so I decided just to use a soft gray. The black was a little too bold, but the soft gray was just really nice image. And then we're going to back it with some brackets that I cut off of my Cricut. And let's grab a card base. Okay, so let's do the stamping first. So in your card 1, you will have a little piece of gold twine, or gold embossing thread, or embellishing thread. That's what it's called. I cut out a stitched bracket. You'll have a piece of pine, and then also these 2 Cricut cuts, and then this piece of cozy up paper. And let's stamp these images. So let's take this large one. You want to take your little foam piece and put it on your workspace. And if you have a large block, that works the best because this is a big guy. And peel this off your sheet. So pretty. Okay. Just reminds me of a nice fall day at the park. All right, so if your stamp is new, you'll just want to rub it on your hand or stamp it a couple times to season it so you get a nice image. And then we're going to ink this up in charcoal ink. And again, I tried the black. The black was just a little too bold. but this gray is really nice and sweet and subtle, and it just makes a nice soft look on our card. So we're going to stamp that right here in the middle of this bracket. This is a big guy, so I'm just going to hold it down just for a minute and make sure all the pieces were inked. And there we go. Not pretty? Okay, now the sentiment I'm going to stamp in Mocha on the stitch bracket. I love the stitches. Anything with stitches I'm all about. It just adds just that little bit of something to your sentiment. So goodbye isn't forever, love is. We're going to stamp that in Mocha. And I kind of went along the theme with the Cozy Up papers. That's kind of where I got my color scheme from. Okay, so now we can assemble this card. Okay, so we're going to take this plaid, or if you want to do the leaves, you can flip it over. It's totally up to you. And I'm going to attach that to a card base. Okay, and then I am going to add this scalloped, I don't know, or is it a bracket? It's probably called a bracket piece. And I just found that shape on my Cricut. So I went ahead and cut those out. And then this frame piece was also on my Cricut shapes. And I'm going to just lay that right on top. Now if you want to color that in, you could, but I would recommend using like intense black ink, or if colored pencils so the ink doesn't smear. And then we are going to just do a little bit of fussy cutting. This bracket, I just wanted a little of the pine peeking out behind it. I tried the size bigger and it was just a little too much. So we're just going to cut around this bracket piece, just letting a little bit of that pine show through. And these are Close to My Heart's micro tip scissors, and I just love them. They do such a great job, especially with fussy cutting. They just glide through the paper. All right, and we're just going around that corner. So it just needed a little color behind it. Okay. Now I'm going to add some 3D foam to the back of this, and this is where I'm going to add my the gold embossing or embellishing thread. The embellishing thread is no longer available, but I just had some in my stash and it just went so well. This little piece is not coming off my finger. Okay, there we go. It just went so well with the softness of this card that I just pulled it out of my stash and we're going to use it. I'm sure you can find some online like Amazon or other places, but I had some in my stash. And it's in your kit, so you won't have to find any. It'll be right there for you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap this around my fingers like 3 times and match up the ends. Actually, let's try to straighten that out a little bit more. There we go. So there's not hard creases in there. Wrap that around. And then we're going to use the 3D foam as adhesive. So you can just put it right there on your 3D foam to hold it on there and then attach it to your card. And there is card number 1. There you go. Okay, so card number 2 is this one right here, Thinking of You. And I just loved the leaf pattern, and then also this little peak of desert rose. It's just so cute. And then you'll also have a little heart dot in your kit, so don't lose that. It's just hanging out in there, and the dots will be different colors just depending. I just grabbed those that I had that would match. And let's go ahead and do the stamping on this. We're going to stamp the tree, and let me pull this one off. See if the tree fits on this block. It does not. All right, how about this one? There we go. We're going to stamp the tree in charcoal ink on the left side of the circle. And then we're going to stamp Thinking of You in Mocha. Let's see, where is that? There it is, Thinking of You. Right next to the tree. And then when I designed this card, this spot right here on the right hand side just looked a little bare, and so I looked at my stamp set to see what I had, and we have these adorable little clouds. There's one, like a set of one, and then there's this double one. So we're going to take this larger one. Take this off my block. I'll clean those a little bit later. And we're kind of going to do a little random stamping on our card base. Let me see. We're going to do second generation. I'm like, that's what I thought. That's what I was looking for, because they're lighter. And so I'll use this piece to do my second generation. So if you're not sure what that is, let me show you. So second generation is when you ink up your stamp, you stamp it on a scratch piece of paper, and then you stamp it on your project. So it gives you that lighter. You see the difference between those two? This is the first generation, that is second generation. So that is what you'll want to do. Oh, let me get my scratch piece. So first generation, then second, and we're just going to add some clouds on here. So it has a nice subtle background in that blank space. Pretty clouds. That's what I love about ink pads, is you have two options. You have a first and a second generation. You can even do a third generation to get an even lighter. Okay. All right, so we're done with that. We're done with those. Okay, so now we can assemble. So take your heart or your leaf pattern, and I'm going to add it to the left hand side, just leaving a white border all the way around. And then we're going to attach this piece, this white circle, to the desert rose. And you can do the dark side or the light side. I think I like the dark, so it's just a little titch bigger. And I cut these circles on my Cricut as well. Cricut's really great for those common shapes. And I'm going to use a little bit of 3D foam to pop this up. And then we'll add our heart. Hopefully we haven't lost our heart. Just add that right there. That's so cute. And then our little dot. These are the Cozy Up dots. so the colors match. Okay, and there we go. That's card number 2, Thinking of You. Okay, so our last one is this one right here. Okay, so here's your pieces. So you have the sage, and then there are 3 strips of the leaf. You will have a piece of melon shimmer trim, and then you'll have this white piece. We're going to stamp on the white, and we're going to use Mocha, and we're going to stamp Praying for You in Your Loss. And it is nice to have some of these type of sentiments on hand, because you just never know when you're going to need it, when you come across someone that just needs a little sympathy card, or just a little something to say, I'm thinking of you. So I like to have these on hand. And we're going to stamp that right in the center. And then we're going to do this fun technique that I absolutely love with shimmer trim. So grab your trimmer, and the shimmer trim comes in like a 1/2 inch size, but sometimes that's just a little too much. So we're going to cut this down. So what I'm going to do is actually take the backing off of this shimmer trim, which seems really weird that you're going to do this, but trust me. Okay, here's a tip. Put a little adhesive down, put your shimmer trim down, and then you should be able to pull this up. Well, it used to work. Pull this up. There we go. And then your backing stays right there. Okay, so put this in your trimmer right in the center. Just line that up. And then you're going to cut it. And then it will pull up. And now you have a 1/4 of an inch. And then you can use that for another project. Isn't that cool? Okay, so now let's start assembling. I'm just going to set that off to the side real fast. We have our card base. And we're going to add our sage. You can do the dark or the light. I chose the light, so I'm going to put the adhesive on the dark side. And then I'm going to just set these out so I can kind of just tell where everything needs to go before I start attaching things. Okay, so we need a little bit of room for that shimmer trim. And I thought I had my teeth. Oh, there it is. Haha. This is going to help us get that shimmer trim down straight. So let me line this up on my Versamat, and I'm going to add this one first and just leave a little bit of a border, and then this one, this will help me put this on straight. Sometimes when it's cut, it likes to curve a little bit. Okay. And then we'll do Praying for Your Loss. Just leave a little bit of a border. And add that one. This card is a great pattern for extra strips of paper that you have laying around. Okay, and there we go. That's card number 3. Okay, so you can get this card kit when you order the stamp of the month on my website, which is juliescott.closetomyheart.com. I'll send you this kit in the mail. Again, this is August stamp of the month. You can only get it during the month of August. And Here's the stamp set again. It is $19.95, or it is only $5 with a $50 order, or VIPs customers can get it for free with a $50 order, and then you get your free card kit. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I will put a description of all the products I use, or put a list of the products I use in the description of the video. If you enjoyed this video, I would love a thumbs up. Maybe leave me a comment, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.